We are at the Mishnah. We came to the Mishnah on Daf Yud Zayin Amud Beis. Masechet Beitza, Yud Zayin Amud Beis at the Mishnah. The bottom of the Amud.
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me? Oh, no, it's not me.
Yeah.
Okay. Look the Mishnah. Chol liyos achar Shabbos. Yesterday we spoke all about if Yom Tov is on a Friday. Yom Tov is on a Friday. What if his Yom Tov is on a Sunday? Bishama yoimrim, matbilin esakoil. That means, say a person means the Indian of right. So a person is Rashi brings a Gemara Rosh Hashanah, the Kaimel of Rosh Hashanah. Chayav odom letares atzmei boregel. The chsiv when also loisigu mitnu lo boregel. It's a there's also is one as an Indian that what odom they come chayav odom letares atzmei boregel. So matbilin esakoil. That means a person and kelim everything milif Shabbos. That means because tvila is like a tikkun moneh. It's betayr the person. It's betayr the kli. You should do it before Shabbos. Ubeisila lo imrim kelim milif Shabbos. Kelim you have to do on a Friday before Shabbos. The Odom be Shabbos, a person could go in Toivel, afilu on Shabbos, that's Erev Yom Tov. The Yom Tov is on a Sunday. Veshovin, Beishame and Beisila both are masking, and they both agree. Shemeshikin esamayim, bikliyeven letaron, avaloi matbilin. What that pshat is? Pshat is azoi. There is what's called hashoker. If a person has maim, very nice water, but this water is drinking water. It became Tomeh. The drinking water became Tomeh. Now he has a mikveh. The mikveh is not drinking water. He wants to metire this drinking water. He wants to drink it. Right? And water, if a person drinks Tomeh water, it's metame sakvir. The person becomes Tomeh. He can't eat tumah. He can't eat them. So what should he do? He takes a kli even. That's what the Mishnah says, a kli even. Why? Because the kli even is not mekabel tumah. Clay, avonim, clay, right? It's the clay adom or clay. It's not mekabel tumah. And he does over there zriyah. What means zriyah? That he kindly takes it and he puts the kli with the nice water, the drinking water, into the mikveh, and he does hashoket. And once they touch, just on top, they touch the mea mikveh with the water inside the cup, what he has over there, or inside the gallon, what he has over there with drinking water, they become toil. And because they are in kli even is not mekabel tumeh. So anything that's in the kli, right, the hashoket of the mikveh is not letzoyrech what of the. It's only for the maim, and the maim, tmeim, and the mea mikveh do hashoka. Hashoka means they are hishokeni, they're kissing each other, and they're gonna come and be toil. That's what the Mishnah comes and says. The solution. Avaloi matbilin. What means avaloi matbilin? Matbilin, that means you don't be matbil the maim tmeim. Again, we talk about this maim, the water, the drinking water, what's tummy. Tvila means azoi. He's gonna take the water, put it in a wooden kli, and this kli itself is tomei. So the kli itself, we need the toivel because the kli itself is tomei. And you put in the kli with the water into the mikveh that has become toil, and agav the kli or agav the ashoka of the water of the mikveh is also going to be metayah the kli. That you shouldn't do. Why not? We're going to see in the Gemara. The Gemara goes explains why not. Says the Mishnah last statement, and the Gemara is going to explain the statement. Umatbilin, that means on Yom Tov, migav legav, umichabur lechabur. As we can see, the Gemara comes and says, "Vokum tosarayin." What that means, you can see in the Gemara. Look at the Gemara. The kule almem mias kli b'Shabbos loy. That means also we still agree that the kli on Shabbos. That means if Yom Tov is on a Sunday, so Shabbos is erev Yom Tov, you cannot come and toivel the kli on Shabbos. Odom, that's the machloek, but the kli everyone. Says more my time. What's the reason? Omar Rabbe Gzeiro Daf Yudches Amud Aleph. This is a very famous Gzeiro of Rabbe, what we see in many places, Megillah, Shoifor, Lulev, all of these things. We find that Gzeiro Shemo Yitlenu Biyodoi V'Yavirenu Arba Amois B'Rshus Or Rabim. Right? Because that's why Gzeiro Shemo Yitlenu Biyodoi V'Yavirenu Biyodoi Arba B'Rshus Or Rabim. To the mikveh, he has to go to the mikveh, and that's why he's going to come and take a thing. And over here comes Toisus and says, famous shayla of Toisus, always we say the Gzeira is Shemo Yitlenu v'Yavirenu. Why not Shemo Yavirenu? L'Shus HaYochid, L'Shus HaRabim. We've asked this question many times. And over here, it says, שיש קרב פסח וגופי חוצה. The chashash that the person that comes from Rishus HaYochid to Rishus HaRabim, that we're not concerned about. Why? Because this is he's going to notice. He's going through a door. He's going through something. He's going to notice not the carry, not the lulav, not the megillah, not anything what we say, Shemo Yavirenu, and including also the kli, the go to be matbilet in the mikveh on Shabbos. Also, he's going to notice that carry it from one reshus to other reshus. But in the Reshus HaRabim, he doesn't notice. There's no heker. He's in my carry it arba amos Reshus HaRabim. Omar lei Abaye. What about if a person yesh loi bo bechatzeiroi?
What?
So this person has no chashash. He's going to carry it arba amos Reshus HaRabim because he has in his back garden. He has over there with water. 40 so he has a mikveh. He has a mikveh at home. So this person, there's no gzeira. He could come and be matbil afilu kelim on Shabbos shebe'erev Yom Tov. Omar lei, so he answers him, gzeiro boyer bechatzeiroi otu boyer b'Reshus HaRabim. Now, this is a gzeira legzeira. We can see here. We can see over here that this gzeira legzeira is one gzeira, as you can see, because this we can see many things about it that looks like a gzeira legzeira. So let's start with the toises be'emes. If you look at the toises, a very short toises, gzeira Yom Tov to Shabbos. V'lo yave gzeira legzeira de Yom Tov Shabbos achas. Because we can see lots of things that is actually sounds like gzeira legzeira now. Okay.
Sorry, why?
One second, let's continue the Gemara, then we can see. Omar le gzeira boyer bechatzeiroi otu boyer b'Reshus HaRabim. Says the Gemara. Oti nach Shabbos. That's very good. But Yom Tov is no Isur Tzorech, right? Something that you're allowed to come and to carry on Yom Tov, something that's Tzorech, right? Anything that's Tzorech, you're allowed to carry on Yom Tov. Michael and Meiman says the Gemara the other way around. It goes to Yom Tov otu Shabbos. We did Yom Tov otu Shabbos because if you're going to come and allow him to come in Yom Tov, you're going to come and to be madbil on Yom Tov, you're going to be madbil also on Shabbos. And in Shabbos, if he's madbil on Shabbos, maybe Gzeiro Shema Yavirenu arba amos Reshus HaRabim. This is mamish gzeira legzeira, but as we saw toises, afraid the Gemara umigazrinen ve'otnan ve'shovin shemeshikin esamayim bikli evel etaron aval lo yimadbilin. That's what we learned in the Mishnah. Now, if we can say that we make a gzeira nigzera shoke or to atbole. If you make gzeira, right, and even a gzeira legzeira in this case, let's do a gzeira legzeira also this way. Why we say that you're allowed to come and do a shoke? That means you put in a kli even, right? You retire. Look. Why not? Do a gzeire ashoke or to atzbole. And for the Gemara Tisbere, he is the maim yofim. Hane lo moile meva do ashoke. And we say, if this person, what he has over, as we said, he has over a maim yofim. Maim yofim means water to drink. So this water, why he has to do with the ashoke? Elo must be the leslie. That means talking about that he doesn't have nice water. The kevan the leslie. You don't have to come and to do over there a gzeira because he's very careful. The water is not nice water, right? It's not maim yofim. Just what is the maim yofim? What he has over there to drink. He's going to be very careful to come and to do the ashoka. He's going to be very careful with the whole process. And there's no chashash that what he's going to come and do a hatbole instead of ashoka. Whatever they're matir for him, he's going to do, and whatever not, they're not going to be matir for him to do.
I don't understand something here. I don't understand something here. We're talking about taking a keli on Yom Tov, right? That you shouldn't go and play with it, right? And we're saying because you're worried that he might come and carry it, yeah? I thought the whole issa of the keli is that it's tikkun moneh. So what's the thing about carrying it here? We don't care about carrying it. He's not allowed to do it on Yom Tov because it's a tikkun moneh. So what are we talking about to carry in Reshus HaRabim? He can't do it in the first place. It's tikkun moneh.
It looks like tikkun moneh, right? As we said, it looks like tikkun moneh, and also he's talking about that he's not matbilet over here for the to masoi. Over here, when we're talking about over here, about the kelim.
Well,
what's the problem of coming and being matbilakli? Stam.
Because it's tikkun moneh, because you can't use that keli unless you put it in the mikveh. Once you put it in the mikveh, then it becomes a tikkun moneh because now one can use that keli, which is something which he could have done before Yom Tov, and as well. So it's two things. One is tikkun moneh, plus it's something which he could have done before Yom Tov. If you want to say that it happened on Yom Tov, so still, I will still ask my question about the other thing that is, that he's making it. A tikkun moneh. He's still doing a tikkun moneh.
You can see from the Gemara, it is not tikkun moneh. Gemara does suggest it's not tikkun moneh.
But it is a tikkun. That's a whole.
When a person,
okay.
That's what you say. Who said? It's not considered within Tikkun Moneh category.
Yeah, okay, you see that later in the Gemara. Yeah.
It's not necessarily for
So what's going on?
If it looks like Tikkun Moneh, then is it not a Shiloh of Meir Science?
So we're gonna let me say so. When we're talking about over here in the Mishnah, right? So there's a Mishnah over here. We're talking about Chal Yom Tov Li'Yosach Al Shabbos. Beishama Yomrim Matbilin Es Hakoil Milifnei Shabbos. Beisila Lo Yomrim Keili Milifnei Shabbos. And Odom, right? Odom, a person everything. Odom Shabbos. V'Shovin Shemeshik Es Hamayim V'Kliyev V'Letaron. But Lo Matbilin. What we see in our Mishnah? What's talking about over here? Someone who comes to Toivel on Shabbos. Lefi Beishama you're not allowed to. Lefi Beisila you're allowed to. Now, what we're talking about over here in the case that we're talking about in Shabbos, right? And if you look at Rashi, also Rashi comes and says, Rashi over here affects us, why we're talking about Dafka on Shabbos. So Rashi is Milifnei Shabbos, the Kaimelon, Berosh Hashanah, Chayav Odom Letar Zatzu Beregel, Dechsi Univlos Lo Yisigu, Umukim Lo Beregel, Il Kachiat Mil Me'erev Shabbos, Do Osu Le'admil B'Shabbos U B'Yom Tov. Right? Now, Rashi comes and says, what's the reason that we're talking about Dafka Shabbos? Why are we not talking about Yom Tov Shechal in the middle of the week? Says Rashi, Beisila Lomrim, Ve'od Anokat Shabbos, Ribusa Shmoinen LeBeisilel, Dafil B'Shabbos Shoru Be'odom, Ugmor Parash My Time with the Kelim Asur. So Rashi comes and tells over here, why we spoke in a case that he comes to Tovel on Shabbos, the same Shabbos could come and say, Yom Tov, it's in the middle of the week. If you're allowed to Tovel on Yom Tov, Lefi Bishamai not, Lefi Beisila yes. Says Rashi, Ribusa Shmoinen LeBeisilel, not only in Yom Tov, you're allowed to, Afilu Shabbos, you're also allowed to. Now, what Rashi comes and says over here is because Chayev Odom Letayas Atzvei B'Regel. Right? It brings the Gemara Rosh Hashanah, Daf Tezayin Amud Beis. And because there's a Chiyuv to come the Toivel B'Regel, Mimele, before the Regel, he has to Toivel and not to wait till the Yom Tov itself. Right? The Yom Tov itself, he should be Toil. And so this we spoke about actually on the end of Yume. What's the gather of the Chayav Odom Letayas Atzvei B'Regel? Pashas the Yesod is because he has to be Toil the whole Regel. And the Rambam, we mentioned in the Rambam, in the end of Ilchos Tumas Oichim, the Rambam comes and says that the Yesod is because a person should come and be able to be Oil Regel and to eat Kochim. Right? Kol Yisrael, the Lashon Rambam, Kol Yisrael Muzorim, Lio Yistoirim Bechol Regel. Why? Says the Rambam, the reason is, Mipnei Shem Nechoinim Liikones Bamigdosh, Velechol Kochim. No? That's what the Rambam comes and says. That's the Pasuk. I mean, also, like, see what Rashi brings on the Pasuk. So the Chiyuv is only to come and to eat Kochim. Was enough came in. If a person has to toivel, it's time to be toil, or dafke if he's going to eat kochim. He's not planning to eat kochim, he also has to come and to eat it. So that's stam. What's the gather? It depends on this also. What's the gather of thing? There's 4 different nafkeminas in this machloikis. What's the thing? But everyone agrees, as we saw in the Gemara, that what? Kli and Shabbos, no. What's the reason? Now, the shaila over in the Gemara is Lefi Beishamai and Lefi Beisilel. The Gemara straight away. The Kulam mi ask Kli b'Shabbos loy. My time. What's the shaila? My time. Only Lefi Beisilel, also Lefi Beishamai.
Beisilel also.
Only Beisilel. Why?
Right.
Why? Because Lefi Beishamai, it's very, very understood why Be'etzim is also. Because Beishamai goes with the svar of Metaken. And because it's Metaken, there's no difference if it's an Odom or Keilim. It's Metaken. Metaken also by Odom is going to be also. You're not allowed to toivel because Metaken. Beisilel understood. And the reason is not because of Metaken. Because if it's Metaken, what's the reason that a person is allowed to come into toivel? Must be that there's no tikkun. It's not called a tikkun. And nebazoi. My time. That's a shayla. My time is that a kelim also. Only in the end we're going to see one of the terutzim of the Gemara of Rava is that bemes loylo mishum metaken. The person nira kamaker says no machloikas. But in the shayla of the Gemara, Azoi explains very many achronim, especially I think it's Tzlach was says that pshat. He learns that's the pshat in the Gemara. So very nochamol. There's no problem with metaken because you're not talking Lefi Beishamai. The gante shayla of the Gemara is no Lefi Beisilel. Lefi Beisilel Odom is mutar. So if Odom is mutar, And the Gemara brings over here for, let's speak it out before, and then we can see it inside. The Gemara says, let's do the kitzur. The Gemara
Says
brings
later
over
on, Gemara says later on, Shenir Mitaken
one second.
is only
One second. Let me just think. The Gemara brings over 4 times. What's the reason that we don't toivel kli? Rabbi says because that's one reason, right? A person for sure is allowed. Why? He's allowed to go out to Rosh Hashanah. Second teretz is Rav Yosef. What Rav Yosef says is the gzeira because of schita, and we did the gzeira kelim, even though the one that don't have schita, because all two kelim that do have schita. A person is allowed by schita is mutar. Rav Bivi comes and says gzeira shemo yashe. That means the person comes, you're going to keep it till Yom Tov. By a person, there's no chashash shemo yashe. Why? The Tosha says because by a person, he's not going to be mash himself for tefillah. That means he's not going to keep himself stam tomei. But order by a person, there's no chashash of takole, or kelim, there's more of chashash of takole, there's of Tosha. And the fourth teretz is Rove. What Rove says, you're not allowed to toivel a kli. Also, lefi beisilel because we're taken. Why by a person? It's mutar because a person nirek a maker. That means a person looks like he's going to cool himself down. It's a hot day. That's the fourth teretz in the Gemara. Now let's start the Gemara.
But Gemara says nirek metaken. No, it's not metaken. Only nirek metaken.
Yes, nirek metaken. Yes,
it's not metaken. Also, Rove says not metaken.
Do we say
the Rove holds is not metaken?
Are we saying these 4 opinions disagree with one another, or do they all agree and that each one is saying what they think is the ikka, so to speak, the most important?
If they disagree with each other,
I thought they did not disagree.
Yeah.
Each one is emphasizing the thing that they think is the one most significant.
Yeah. So let's see the Gemara. So first of all, we had Rabbi. Let's start again. Omar Rabbi, Gzeiro Shemo Yitlenu Biyodoi, V'Yavirenu Arba Amos B'Shus Arabim. Omar Abaye, יש לו בו בחצרו מהי כלמימר. אומר לי, גזירה בו בחצרו יאותו בו בשוס הרבים. עוד ינח שבס זה יונט. שבס ויונט, מהי כלמימר, כבר זו יונט ואותו שבס. והייתי גמור מי גזרינן, וידוע זה לך גזירס. והותנן, ושובין שבשיקס המים בכלי אבל לטרון, אבל לא ימטבילים. ואם ייסה, נגזר השוקר, אותו הטבולה. ותסברה, סס לגמורה. אי איסטי מים יופים, אני לא מולי להר השוקר. אלו, דלסטה וכן דלסטה, הוא מזרזור. אוקיי. תלו במקרים. איסה, ויזוג לגמורה. We learned a Beitza. Madlin medli tome ve'utor. That means a person could do a little bit what we call a arome. He goes, he wants to toivel the water on Yom Tov. What does he do? He takes a dli tome and he toivels the dli agav the, right? Because he wants to come in to draw out water. And the water becomes toivel. Now, he says the Gemara. Now, if we say that we do a gzeire, maybe it's going to come toilet also without drawing out, also without the sa'arome of keilu drawing out water. Says the Gemara, no. Shiny awesome. This person remember that he could not come in toilet stamazai. Only by drawing out water he's going to remember. So when he doesn't remember, that's nosun adovo b'yad chachomim. Again, we don't. Eisavei. Kli shenitmo me'erev yom tov. Why? Because he could have been madbilet niboid yoim. Anything he could have done erev yom tov, don't do it in yom tov. So when it became tomet this kli, erev yom tov. You want to be madbilet in yom tov? You should have been madbilet yesterday. What if be yom tov it became tomet in yom tov? Madbilet also be yom tov. You can come and toilet also in yom tov itself. Ve'im ise nigzo de yom tov or do the erev yom tov. If you do a zelech exeires, let's say yom tov or do erev yom tov. And for the Gemara, Tume be Yom Tov means that it's Shchichir. Why? Because as we said, the Gemara Chagiga tells us that in Yom Tov, everyone is betaying himself erev Yom Tov, we do so. And in Mele, Tume is not Matsui. And we said that it's Shchichir, so it goes to Bo Rabbonon. Eisevei, noch a Shaila. Klisha nitmo be'avatume. That means avatume means a Rishon letume, and that's a avatume is even more than a Rishon letume, and that's a Tume doiraise. Tume doiraise. So Tume doiraise ain't matbilin oisav Yom. You cannot come and toivel the Kli on Yom Tov. But what if the Kli became Tome only from a Vlada Tume? That means it's only Tome Mide Rabbonon. Because the Kli could become Tome only from a Ava Tume. it becomes Tommy from a Rishon, it's only with the Rabbanon. That means it could become, the Mashkin goes one Mashkin is we're not going to go into all the dinim, but they could become a Kli, could become Tommy, only with the Rabbanon. So that, Tumah the Rabbanon of the Kli, Madbi says the Braise, Madbili Noisoi, Beyomtem. Ve'imi say, and if we zoom Zeres Kli the Kli, Nigzoi or Duo, and for the Gemara, Vlada Tumah Eche Mashkachas, that means the Kli that becomes Tommy Vlada Tumah, that means it's only a Sheni Tumah. By who has to come to toilet? Vechasot mentioned. A Kli Sheni, what's Metame Sheni? Sheni is Metame only Tumah. Tumah Kochim, because we know the levels of Avia voice, Av, Rishon, Sheni. That's it stops there. When you come to Tumah, in Kochim you have a Shlishi and a Revi. But in Chulin, what everyone eats, it's till the Sheni. Vlada Tumah, that means a Kli that became Tomah Midrabanon is always going to be a Sheni. It's going to be only the Sheni, because a Kli that becomes Tomah from Avatum, it turns into a Rishon, that's a Deiraise. But if you have a Kli that became a Sheni, Alidei Mashkim, should go to whoever it is, it becomes a Sheni. Now, who has to care about Sheni? A person, a regular person who eats Chulin, what do I care? Put into a Sheni. A Sheni is not Metame. A Chulin, right? Only Trumah becomes Tomah from a Sheni. Who is exactly eating Trumah? Or Yisrael doesn't eat Trumah. Only Koyanim eat Trumah. And that's why we don't do Xer. You know why? Because as the Gemara, Koyanim, Zrizim, hey, the Koyanim is Zrizim, and they are going to notice we don't do for them special Xeras. Toshema. No Omar Avchir Barashi, Omar Rav. Nida Shein of Godim. That means she doesn't have Godim, that means she has clothes, but she doesn't have Godim to Hoirim. Yet to wear after she become Torah from it. She has only one garment, she has only one set of clothes, and then she wore Be'ez Nidosa, so it's Tomei. And now she doesn't have new clothes. So she's not allowed to toivel with her clothes on Yom Tov. So what does she do? Because she's tired of clothes, right? The kelim is also clothes, it's also called kelim. So she cannot toivel with the clothes on Yom Tov. What should she do? Ma'aremes, says the Gemara. She does arome. That means, in a way that is no chatzitzes, right? It's no shulchan aruch that psak halacha that you can toivel with clothes if it's very wide. Right? If it's loose, it's wide, the clothes, there's no problem. Right? She'eino mehudokim is we know, and then they become toil. Agav, let's do a gzeira. She's gonna come. And toivel, don't let her to toivel together with the clothes, because she might come. That means it's no chashash. Why? Because she remembers why they told me to toivel with their clothes, because I cannot toivel it by itself. And that's why all of the reasons we said that there's not going to be a chashash. Okay. So that is a tam. Till over here we learned the tam of Shemo Yitlenu Dal Arba Amazus Rabim, and they're going to come and be matbilet, and this is the famous thing of Rabbi. That's the first term as we mentioned. Why you cannot come and be toivel kelim masheik and Adam? Because kelim Shemo Yitlenu beyodoi v'avirenu Dal Amazus Rabim, and we mentioned the Ran in the beginning of the fourth parak of Rosh Hashanah, where the Ran comes and says, and the reason is only on Shofar, Lulev, Megillah, right? Chacham made the Gzere of because Shemo Yavirim Arba Amazus Rabim. But on Mile, why we didn't do a Gzere on Mile? Because you shouldn't do a Mile. Sheval Tase. You have a mitzvah to Yiraisa of Mile by Yom Hashmini. Sheval Tase. Right? Chacham should make a Gzere. Shemo Yavir Sasakin or Shemo does Shosarabim. Shemo Yavir Sasakin, the Sakin Mila, Arba Amazus Rabim. Oh, so he says because in Shofar, Lule, Megillah, everyone is told. So they might come and forget that the Shabbos today. Because everyone has a chiyuv of Shofar, everyone has a chiyuv of Lule, everyone has a chiyuv of Megillah. Masha'inkin and Mile, only the Moyel, only the Avia Ben is told. Everyone else not. So they didn't do Gzeira because people are going to see him carrying a sack in Mila and Shabbos. And Rosh Hashanah, they're going to straight away going to remind them. So the Shaila is the Fideran. Our Gemara. Tvilas Kelim. We said we make a Gzeira. Who's exactly told? Only the Toivel. Everyone is told. Only the Toivel, that means this person that has Kelim Tmeim, he's the only one that's told about, I have a Kli over here and I have to Toivel it. So other people, if feed this idea of the Ran, when we have there other people that they're going to remind them, they are not Trudim b'mitzvah, so they're going to remind them. So why over here we don't say that they're going to remind them? Was Oxter? Feed this of the Ran. Why Tvilas Kelim? Why? How could Rabbi say Gzeira Shem Yavirim Rosh Hashanah?
Well, today, Mili have to do today.
No, no.
I agree with you. That's another teretz. But lefi the Ran, lefi the word of the Ran, not the Shaila. The Ran is not the idea. The Shaila is on the story of the Ran.
Can I try?
Yeah, but the Ran is saying in the case where you have to do it. They said it's for that. If God says a yochid, he'll know. But in case where
it is because they're going to remind him or not remind him.
No,
There is. The Kli says there's many. You're going on different terutzim, but the idea of the Ran, the story of the Ran is because people are going to remind him. He's the only one that's told.
But they are going to remind him because on Yom Tov, if one wants to cook and take kalim around to eat with, which are okay, one can carry kalim on Yom Tov. So therefore, people wouldn't go and say anything to him because they wouldn't know that he's going to the mikveh with them. Maybe he's just going to take them to eat. That's why. So therefore, with the Ran, anyone going with a shofar, we know, oh, it's a shofar. If it's a lulav, we can see it's a lulav. If it's something else, we can see what it is. With a kalim, with a plate, with a fork, with a knife, anyone can eat with them. It doesn't mean that he's going to the mikveh.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, makes sense. I'll go to teretz. Okay, so we saw over here, right? Abaye comes and says we do a very interesting gzeira of gzeira boyer bechatzeiroi otu boyer b'shusarabim. We're just going to mention again what Toises comes and says that. Right, the Gemara comes and says hoti nach Shabbos yontem Michael Meima gzeira yontem otu Shabbos. Says Toises, says gzeira. Says Toises yontem Shabbos echodu. And just to mention that Toises and Shabbos and Daf Chav Gimel mentioned also the same thing legabe what we said of the Shemes Reifa, right? The beginning of Shemes Reifa, you don't come and light Shemes Reifa in Shabbos. Why? Shemoyate. It says Toises v'goizer yontev otu Shabbos. Right? And we don't say it's exera because yontev Shabbos ki adode nino. Okay. Says the Gemara. Let's see now another teretz. So till now we saw over here the teretz of Rabbi. Says the Gemara, Rav Yosef. We're going back to the shaila of the Gemara again to come to explain why is the Gemara started over here. My time, the my time as we said. Why lefi beisilel, lefi what we learned in Tzlach. The shaila is only lefi beisilel. Why you cannot be matbil kelim Shabbos in Yom Tov. Rav Yosef Omar, gzeiro mishum schite. Kelim is clothes. Lots of times we talk kelim, and he's going to come and do schite. Omar le Abaye. Tinach kelim. That means very good when you talk about clothes. The bnei schita nino, or kelim the lav bnei schita nino. You talk about over here all kinds of utensils that are not bnei schita. Ma'ikele meima, or malei gzeire hanu ote ane. The gzeire, these are again. This is a gzeire legzeire. Oh, the same thing. I Eisavei kolan into you. What we learned beforehand. The same teretz. Rav Bivi Omar. Rav Bivi says a different teretz. Why you do not come and read Bad Bil and Yontev? That means the person, he's going to have over there lots of kelim. He puts it in the side. He says, okay, Yom Tov, I have time. I don't go to work. I'm going to go to the mikveh and toivel all the kelim. What's going to happen? It's a chash takole because he's going to come and he has kelim tmeim around. Maybe he's going to touch tume. Maybe it's not good to have kelim tmeim around, stam lying around the house, and that's why you say don't do it. Tanya Kava say the Rav Bivi. Kli shenit mo me'erev Yom Tov. Ein matbili lo yizvi Yom Tov. Gzeiro Shemo Yashe. State befurish in the Braise, like Rav Bivi, that what the reason is because Shemo Yashe. Rove Omar, the fourth teretz. Mipnei shenire, right? As we said before, shenire is the Beitza for the day. Shenire ke metaken kli. Says the Gemara Yochel Odom Name. If you're saying it's metaken, so we back to the shaile. Why it's not? If it's metaken, why shouldn't we say? And for the Gemara, Odom nire kemaker. That means he goes down. It's a hot day. It's a hot day. He wants to cool himself down. Says the Gemara, hoti nach maim yofim. That means very good when a person goes to toivel. He goes to toivel and clean water. What about maim roi ma'ikele meimar? The water is not so clean. Says the Gemara, Omar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, be'omim she'odom bo b'sharav shorov. That means a very hot day. As Rashi says, choim yed daf yud chesam and base. And it's very, very hot. And ve'roichetz afilu b'mei mishro. Mei mishro is shoirin hapishton boim. That means you come and before you turn it into linen, right? There's a whole process of taking the flax and soaking in the water. Now the water really reeks. It's the water of the pishton. It's not clean water. And you see that the person, to cool himself down, even goes into smelly water. So the Choyre says the Gemara, you see that this happens. Says the Gemara, okay, this happens only when there's a sharav, when there's a heat wave. Omar Rav Nachman, yes, this could happen also in the Moisek Shomim. Omar Rav Nachman Ritzok, Yom Yishodom Bobas Min Asodom Meluchloch Betit Betzoyo. It's all muddy. What? Even in this water that's not clean water, he's going to come and going to think. Says the Gemara, this is very good, a regular Shabbos. Dinach b'Shabbos. Be'yom HaKippurim, there's an Isor of Rechitze. How could you come and toivel a Tvila Shel Mitzvah? And we know that you're allowed to toivel a Tvila Shel Mitzvah. Right? A person, as you can see, the Gemara bring bald. A person's allowed to toivel Tvila Shel Mitzvah and Yom Kippur. Yes. Says the Gemara, Lichoyre, how can you toivel Yom Kippur? Why we don't say that what? Omar Rove, and the song is because Shani Rekamaker. Omar Rove, Miike Mini de Shabbos Shorim Yom Kippurim also. Shtas Nazach. Elo oil b'Shabbos Shorim Yom Kippurim Nam Shorim. Because what is more chomer? Shabbos or Yom Kippur? No, Shabbos is more chomer. No, Shabbos is more chomer than Yom Kippurim. Mitzad the meloches of Shabbos. Shabbos is skile, Yom Kippurim is chorus. Shabbos is skile, Yom Kippurim, and that's why Shabbos is more chomer than meloches. You're right. In Yom Kippur you have also Yisur Achile. You have also Yisur of the Sandal. You have also Sicher, Chitzat, Asher Shamita. Over in Shabbos is more chomer than meloches, and Shabbos is more chomer. Fragt die Gemara, mi sagt das selche oils? Mi ike, says the Gemara, mi ise le rove oil? But nan, a choishesh, beshinov, that means a person has a toothache on Shabbos. On Shabbos, he has a toothache. Lo igma boines achoimetz, that means a person shouldn't come and swallow sips of vinegar. Why? Because that's the refuah. Avul metabelu, gedaka v'nisafre. He come and dip in his chale into choimetz, into the vinegar, and then now what's mashma? Ligmoya lo igma, right? It's also, right? It doesn't matter any case, it's going to be also, right? That means to come and sip small sips of vinegar is going to be also. Says the Gemara, shaila. Let's be medaya. I mean, no, right? What state over there in the Beitza? Lo igma upoilet avul megameya uboileya. What do we see over here? That's what? Lo igma upoilet. That means don't come and fill up your mouth with vinegar and then spit it out. But megameya upoileya. Ve'omar Abaye, hitna nami masnisin megameya upoilet nan. That means that the person, when we come instead of lo yegameya, what means? He shouldn't come and spit it out after he comes. He shouldn't swallow it. He could swallow it, but to swallow it is no problem.
There's 3 stages here.
One second, let's see this. Afilu teime megameo boilea. The Tana of the Mishnah answers even megameo boilea also is going to be also. Just what's the difference? Kan, when we said over there, that means before he started to come and to dip it in to eat it, so then it doesn't look like refuah. Kan lachatu, he finished what he eats, right? Now why? Now he comes to megamea, and that's what it looks like refuah. Yeah, that's the dinim. Yes, what you want to say?
It sounds like 3 stages. The other one
That's
is
the worst.
and to drink it.
Less.
And the other one is
Metabel.
to be
No, metabel definitely is mutar. Metabel is definitely mutar.
even after the meal.
Yes, because you're eating. You're eating.
Right.
Before the meal and after the meal, that's the nafkamina of megamea or poilet. Megamea or poilet, you can't bechlal. But that's the refuah. That's the refuah. You come to fill up the mouth with vinegar, you goggle it a little bit, and then you spit it out. That is the refuah for the toothache. Megamea or poileya, you can come and say, look, maybe he wants to have the taste and then to eat a bit of bread. So then it depends. If he's just starting out to eat now a suda before, okay, you can come and say, he wants to have the tam, the vinegar in his mouth, and then he's going to eat. But if he finished to eat, and then he comes to make a meya, uboileya is also. Now, that's the Beitza. Atkan is the Beitza. Now, Ve'imi said, if we say oil, now comes the Shiloh of the Gemara. Ve'imi said, if we just say the smell of oil, name, we should say as oil. Oil, we just said oil, right? So let's say oil because you're matir before coming and eating the suda. So also after the suda, be matir. And for the Gemara, odarbe rove mei. That means from this din of vinegar, Rove actually changed his mind, and he says, he does say the smell of oil. After he came and he changed his mind. Where do we see it? Says the Gemara, we made the mai odarbe. Who tells you that the smell of choimetz he came and he changed his mind? Dilme me odarbe. Maybe from our oil he changed his mind. of Yom Kippur and Shabbos. So the Gemara lo yisal. Why? The Tanya. For the Beitza state. What state in the Beitza? And this is what we said before. That you're allowed to toivel Yom Kippur, chayvei tvilos. Yeah. Kol chayvei tvilos. Toivling kedar kon. Bein betisha b'av. Bein beyom kippurim. Must be that this is what's the reason? What's the reason you're allowed to toivel Yom Kippur? Oil. So if you come and say that Rava was choizer, must be was choizer from the oil of choimetz and not the oil of Yom Kippur. Yeah, yes, because the way it's saying the force of the Beitza. And you can't say must be that the reason is because oil. And that's why we're going to come and say over here that it's going to be mutar. Yeah.
If a person's toivel on Shabbos in order to be tahor on Yom Tov, why isn't that hachana Shabbos Yom Tov?
What's the achona? He's making the
Make himself tahor. He wants to be tahor on Yom Tov.
As Yom Tov comes in, as we said, that is be'emes what we spoken beforehand, yeah, and then after minutes, as we said about what's the geder of tzorich odom l'tayas atzoi b'regel. And the geder is to come into Yom Tov when you are already toil. So if we say that the din is the tayas atzoi b'regel, it means if you come into Yom Tov when you're toil, maybe it's not called achona. I don't think it's really achona, so you feel, yeah. Okay, let's just speak a small halacha, and there's a big enough community over here. What's the halacha? Why are you not allowed to toivel a kli? Lemaisa. We had over here 4 different reasons. What's the halacha? So the Rif says the halacha is because the reason is the toivel kelim on thing because Gzeir Hashem Yisroit. Gzeir Hashem Yisroit and Gzeir Hashem Yashe. These 2 reasons brings the Rif. The Rosh disagrees on it and he says, because we say like the other 2 reasons, because Rabbi of Shemo Yavirenu and because Rove of Nire Kemetaken. Now, as we said before, and as Rebeni asked a good question, are they disagree or not? So the Choyre Alpon of Pashas Gemara doesn't like to disagree. But it comes like the Grois enough communities over here about how we learn it. The Rosh and the Rif, it looks like they actually do disagree over here.
Why do you say Gemara actually doesn't look like disagree? They'll say different reasons. We don't.
Different reasons. They disagree with each one?
Yeah, why disagree? Yeah. Why?
Everyone points a different thing. That's more of a chashash. The other one said that.
It's not chashash. So we would have said both. If he agrees with it, he says if it's equally important, he says both. It's not important. That's important, but that's not important.
Let me tell you a very interesting nafkamina. The Rosh brings a very interesting nafkamina. What's the if you're allowed to toivel a kli in Yom Tov or not? He says, what about we know there's a din of kli anikach me'agoy. You have to toivel, right? If someone buys a kli, not Tommy. If the reason is because Shemo Yisroit or because Shemo Yashe, so by a kli that you buy from a goy, you don't answer. But if the reason is because maybe Shemo Yavirenu Daladam Sorabim, or because Metaken, we're gonna have to answer it. Also by kli anikach min agoy. And then Mishachonor brings both of the things, like in Shabbos, the Tfilas thing, and Shin Chov Gimel and Seif Zayin, he brings both of the reasons. Biralochov there has a long arichas about it, that thing. Okay. Another thing, what before we go weiter, as we said over here in Yom Kippur, right? In Kippur, as we said, that the Gemara comes and says, Kol Chai, the Gemara brings over there, Braise, Kol Chai, Vitvilah, Stoivli, Kedarkon, Bein Betisha B'Av, right? In Yom Kippur. Why Chazal was matir Tvilah in Mikveh in Yom Kippur? The Chitza Shetainuk is also. But as we said, right? Also in Yom Kippur, right? So we said Beitza because the Takim.
Allowed to take away the dirt of the group. I heard once you're allowed to take away the tumah, the ruchni is to get dirt.
Oh, so that's what the Rashba says. The Rashba says the Choyre in Yom Kippur is also no. It doesn't look like Metaken. Why? Because the Isur is not only Chitze Shel Tainu, right? That's the only Isur Chitze. The Chitze in Yom Kippur, the whole Isur is only Chitze Shel Tainu. But the Chitze stamp to remove dirt is not gonna be a problem. They're going to say that the person toivels to come to remove the dirt. He's not toiveling to come to To be retire himself. Yeah. He wants to come. So the Rashba says also in your kippur, only where he's dirty can come and wash. If he's dirty in his hand, he cannot come now and toivel in the mikveh. Come and wash your hand. You're dirty in your foot, wash your foot. You cannot come and toivel the whole thing. That's when a person comes and toivels in ganzen in your kippur, they're going to come and say, oh, he's not toiveling for just the dirt. He's toiveling in ganzen, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be awesome. Okay. Zog the Gemara weiter. We learned in the Mishnah. Beshovin shemashkin samayim b'klei even, right? Aber loy matbilin. Zog the Gemara. What's the pshat loy matbilin? Mai aber loy matbilin. Omar Shmuel. Ein matbilin is a kli al gav meim of letar b'yonter. That means you're not matbil the kli, the tomedik kli, by making a shoke with the tomedik water to be metar the kli in yonter. I mean, you can't be metar also the kli. By the Gemara, money must listen. Our Mishnah would do it fits. Loy Rabbi, loy Rabbanon. Why? We have a Beitza. The Beitza steht as in Tanya, ein matbilin is a kli al gav meim of letaroi, ve'ein mashikin is a mayim b'kli evel letaron divrei Rabbi. V'chachom אומרים, matbilin kli al gav meim of letaroi, u'menshikin is a mayim b'kli evel letaron. Now, lefi this Beitza, it's shver. Our Mishnah would do it fits. Why? Says the Gemara, money. Our Mishnah, who it goes? Rabbi, kashi ashoke. Why? Let's figure out. Rabbi is not matir ashoke of water. Our Mishnah is matir, right? If we go back to the Beitza, what Rabbi said, ein matbil zakli al gav meim oletari ve'ein meshikin es amayim. Our Mishnah says meshikin aloy matbilin. Okay, so it can't fit with Rabbi. Rabbanon, kashi hadbole, because the Beitza is matir lefi Rabbanon afilu hadbole, and our Mishnah says only ashoke, no hadbole. And for the Gemara, really, our Mishnah can fit with both. Why? Says the Gemara. Ibo eseime Rabbi, Ibo eseime Rabbanon. The Gemara explains. Ibo eseime Rabbi, and we're going to say as like, Reisha the Beitza, that means beyond. The Reisha of the Beitza is what we're talking about, ein matbilin kli tomei agav meimo. When it's talking about, only Yontev. Yontev, hashoka is mutter, only atbole is also. So that's the Beitza, the Reisha of the Beitza, what we said, that you're not matbil. It's talking about Yom Tov. Seifer, what's a Seifer? What we say, Ein Mashikin, yes? So the Reisha of the Seifer, Reisha means Ein Matbilin, Seifer means Ein Mashikin. Well, the Seifer, what we learned over there, Ein Mashikin, mind, to be Matayah, it's talking about, Lefi Rabbi, Beis Shabbos. But our Mishnah, the Kula Maslisin, Be Yom Tov, Lefi Rabbi Yom Tov, you're allowed to do a Shoket, you're not allowed to do a Tbole. So the Beitza is talking about very, very different. Our Beitza is talking about also Shabbos, also Yom Tov. Shabbos you can't do, but Yom Tov you could do hashoken. Our Mishnah is talking about only Yom Tov, and that's what our Mishnah says. Ein matbilin obel mashikin. So our Mishnah can fit lefi Rabbi. Daf Yutes Amud Aleph veivo eseime Rabbanon. Our Mishnah can fit also lefi Rabbanon. What Rabbanon will matir hashoken and adbole everything. How could it fit with our Mishnah? Because kulam mastisim b'Shabbos. That means they come and they are matir hashoken and adbole in Yom Tov, Obel, they answer everything in Shabbos. So our Mishnah is talking about when? On Shabbos. Our Mishnah is talking about Shabbos. Maybe on Shabbos they're going to come and say that it's also, but then we say everything is mutter, it's talking about Yom Tov. Our Mishnah, everything is talking about on Shabbos. Tonu Rabbanon. Kli shenitmo me'erev Yom Tov. Erev Yom Tov. Ein matbil noisei ben hashmoshes. Cannot come and toivel ben hashmoshes. Ab Shemesh Azur Yomer. Af becholim matbil noisei. V'yetzorich ha'erev Shemesh. That means a kli or Adam, a kli, anything that becomes tomei, you need ha'erev Shemesh. That means after the tvile, right? After the tvile, you have to wait till ha'erev Shemesh. That means till the shkia, till the sunset. Now, if he toiveled, right? If a person came and toiveled after the ha'erev Shemesh, there's a big chashash. That's what. That the person is going to come and is going to use it, right? And that's why, says Rashi, tzrichin leachzir olim chois beyodoi. Not stam. Also have to come to stop him to do it. Rashi di ma'ashin af bechoil. Imon roim odom amad b'kli ben hashmoshes onu tzrichin leachziroi olim chois beyodoi. Pnei shetzorich ha'erev shemesh v'zeh amad b'kli balaylo v'adai daitu l'ishtamesh b'miyad u'lo ilamtin ha'erev shemesh l'mocho. But this person, you have to stop him also to doing it. Find the Gemara. Tane kame loy boy ha'erev shemesh. Tanekame, after you toivel the kli, how can you be matvil a kli ben hashmoshes in the weekday? Right? Tanekame says in the weekday you're allowed to. Tanekame says, is only talking about on Yom Tov. Shimon Shazui adds also in the weekday, but Tanekame in the weekday says it's okay. How can you? You don't have Arab Shemesh. Omar Rove, Ashkechinu lerabonon de Beirav, the Yasve v'Koamre. Machshavto nikeres mitoich ma'isov komiflege. That means that Tanekame and Rab Shimon Shazuri have a machloikes if Machshavto nikeres mitoich ma'isov. And what's the pshat? Look the Gemara. Veiche dome. Okay, going. The person is taking over there this utensil in his hand, it's clean. Veroi, he's running. Veroi, ve'ozil ben hashmoshes la'tkule. He comes back and says, sikun, 4 minutes, he's running the aray chappen ben hashmoshes, aray chappen the shkia. And he's running over there to come at the toilet. Mar soval, hayde koroi, ve'ozil meidei yoda. Why he's running? Aray chappen the shkia, right? Aray chappen before Arif Shemesh. And if when he toivel it, actually he's going to see that water, I pass the shkia, I see that it's too late, he's going to wait for tomorrow. And that's why he was matir in the weekday, and he asked us Yom Tov, why? Because could be that what? And Yom Tov, why it's also? Because it's a tircha stam. Don't run. You have a chance that you're not going to make it for the Ben Hashmoshes, don't run. Because then you're going to might come and be matriach for nothing in Yom Tov. Umar soval. That means this person is not running because he's busy, he has a job to do after that. He has a thing, he has to go home, he has to do it. Now, if we're going to allow him to come in the toivel, that Rab Shimon Shazuri says, if you allow him to toivel without, right, basically in Ben Hashmoshes, he might come and use it also without Rab Shemesh. Ve'amin elahu ano, says the Gemara, ve'amin elahu ano, that's what? That what that we do say that actually if he's running, that means if he's running, you're gonna know that what he's running for the shkia. You see someone running Erev Shabbos, you know he's running because right? So that's definitely. But when is the machloikes? Of Rav Shimon Shazuri with the Tanekame, keep liga can go in the itme bepochis mikadasho. That means he has over here a different kli. This kli became Tomei. Now a sheret, tuma sheret, the sheret is a ava tuma, right? The sheret, that's the most common tuma what we find in the Mishnah. Tuma sheret, right? We always call it tuma sheret because that's very common, and that's why we call it tuma. That was common then at that time. Tuma sheret, one of the shmona shortzim amurim atayro, a dead reptile, one of these 8, and they are metame. But what is the size of the sheret that has to be metame, or the size part of the sheret? Ka'adasha, the lentil. Now, so he had over there a different kli that became Tomei from a sheretz, but it was less than a dash of the sheretz. No, so it's not Tomei. It's not Tomei. Ve'ose lekamei, and he came over here. Ose lekamei the rabbanon l'shiyule. The pochus ve'gadasha. He comes out of the chachom and he's asking them, "I have a kli, a different kli. Now this kli became Tomei from a sheretz, but the sheretz what touched it was less than a dash. That means the part of the sheretz was less than a dash. Is it Tomei or not?" That means this person, you see that the Kenish has a posted din that the sheret is not metal and pochos me'adasha. Probably he also doesn't know Arab Shemesh. He also doesn't know the din of Arab Shemesh. That means he has 2 kelim. Yeah, let's talk about the case. We talk about the person. This person, he has a kli that actually Tomei for sure. And he has another kli that became Tomei from a sheret that's less than a dasha. He doesn't know that less than a dasha is not Tomei. He goes to the rabbi to ask him. He goes to the Rav and he's asking him, I have a kli, became Tomei from a less than a dasha. He goes to the Rav to ask him. What the Rav is going to answer him? Kosher v'yosher. But because we see, the Rav tells him, the kli what you have over here is kosher. But the other kli, you cannot come and Tomei ben hashmoshes. Why? Because this person has Amma Oretz, he doesn't know a din. That Pochus Me'adasha is not Metame Kli, he for sure also doesn't need a din of Arav Shemesh, he's going to toivel it at night. And he might come and not wait Arav Shemesh. Umar Soval, Ho, Udeloi Gomil, Ho, Arav Shemesh Gomil. That means, Tume Sheretz, Pochus Me'adasha, it's not Metame, it's not a Mefurish Apostle, right? It's not a Mefurish Apostle, we learned that, so, this he didn't learn. Aber andere Sachen weißt du ja. Arav Shemesh, it's doch a Mefurish Apostle. Doch a Mefurish Apostle. So this, for sure, he learned, and that's why you're matir him to toivel on bein hashmoshes. Yeah.
Just confirm the din, please. Erev Shemesh is relevant for Tumah and Kochim, but for Chulin you could use this keli even after Tefillah before Erev Shemesh.
Yes. Isa, for example, yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Says the Gemara. Weiter. We learned in the Mishnah a very interesting din of Matbilin migav legav. What's the pshat? Tonu Rabbanon. Keitzad migav legav. What's the pshat migav legav? What's the pshat migav legav? Says the Gemara. Aroi tzelas is gitoi al gav kadoi, ve'kadoi al gav gitoi oise. Let me just say. A gas. What's a gas? Doach bagyain gatoi. Right. That is a gas of a wine press. I think it's called, yeah, a wine press. So this person, he wants to do his gas, the wine. He wants to prepare the wine, betare, right? Especially betare. So he has to come to be toivel again the jug after he comes and he was matbilet for stamp for tare. Let's say he has over there a barrel. He was matbilet, toil, he put in oil. Now he wants to come and to prepare wine, but the wine also, he wants the wine should be for Yom Tov. Does he have to toivel it again or not? That's what he says. Is gitoi or gatoi al gav kadoi. So he's allowed to come to do it in Yom Tov. Why? Because this is not a tikkun. Because he had a tefillah before. Stam toivel nochamol. There's no problem. The same thing also, what he says over here is also the kadoi al gav gatoi. That means if we want to do an extra tare of a tefillah, the kadoi, that means a jug of oil after you want it done it ready for wine, also he does it. It's not called a tikkun. Yeah, that's quite possible. Yeah. Keitzad mechabura lechabura. Look at the Gemara. And now he's talking about all of this is like a Tosefes Tare that's not really called a tikkun. That means he toivel this kli to be retired when before he's coming to this chabura to eat together with them. He toivel the evening is toivel. Wants now to eat with a different chabura. Alushus beyodoi come and to toivel again to do it the tare because a special tare for the next group. Why? Because it's not really a tikkun because it's already tare. Okay, he wants to add Tosefes Tare ways to make sure that's not a problem to come and do it on Yom Tov.
Which day are we talking about? Because Rashi says, "Al Tischoy, Mohoy Tomei,
Yeah. No, it's not talking about the ad Kelim Tzvei. He had over there Kelim that were toivel already.
Correct. And he changes his mind to go to a different chavura. Which day are we talking about? Exactly.
On Yom Tov.
On Yom Tov itself.
Yeah. On Yom Tov itself. On Yom Tov, yeah.
At night.
It's a night. Why not? He wants to tell it again now. That's what the Gemara says. Yeah, Keitzad migav legav. Avoid to last is gatoi. Rashi says, "Oise gitoi al gav. Tefillah zu she'it bil l'shem kadoi. Ve'in lanu lad mishon l'shem gatoi. Right? That means from Rashi is mashma. You're right. From Rashi is mashma. You don't have to come to toivel bechlal. Not midei raisa, not midei rabbanon. That's why you're allowed to come to toivel because there's no tikkun because you don't need a tefillah bechlal. Yeah.
But what's behind this tefillah? What does he want to do here? He's doing nothing. If it's toivel, it's kosher, but it's bliske chabura, that is, they ask him to toivel again.
So the Shittom Komet is fragt das. No, it's gerecht. The Shittom Komet is fragt das. The Shittom Komet is fragt. What's the chidush? What's the Salkadai doch the Aser bechlal? So he says, that even that he's machmir on himself, so that Hashavya and Afsheich weiss, l'shitoso, was made is a metaken, afal bigen etz mutar. But actually, the Bir Aloche in Shin Chovov, he brings over there that someone who comes to Toivel and Shabbos like the Tosefes Tare, it's a mutar. Why? And he comes and he says the same Gemara over here that Binyan al Gav Chavur lechavur. That's the Bir Aloche brings the Raya. You're allowed to Toivel Shabbos the Tosefes Tare. You have to be careful from other problems. Schite with the hot mikveh, There's a lot of other problems with Toivel and Shabbos, what you have to be careful from. But the Mir Halacha break the head from here. Okay. There is Ashitas Rambam. Ashitas Rambam has a very interesting chidush in the Pirush HaMishnah, the Rambam, about what means matpilim migav legav. Rambam says, if he had kelim and the kelim are toirim, and he uses it, where he uses it? He uses it in the olive press, and this is cholin. Now you wants to use it in the wine press. What's trume? He's allowed to come and to do a tvile, a second tvile in Yom Tov, even though that the toil, yeah. He has to come to do another tvile, because right, we know the second parak in Chagiga, right? Rabban osu male betrume more than chulin. That even if he toivel something lechulin, he has to retoivel it again for meiser of a trume, right? If a person toivel lechulin, loy also loy for meiser or trume, and that's the komash malon, that if he toivel lechulin and he wants to be matbilet letrume, azat tvile is mutter to do in Yom Tov. As I zog the Rambam over the pshat on the Mishnah. And the Rambam passes the halacha also in the Rambam in Perek Daled halacha Yud Zayin. The Rambam says, "Please show your toil letrume. The roitzel adbiloi lekochim. That means also mile bekochim that you have to be madbilet. The Rambam muter leadbiloi v'chelik kol kayoytzev mitvilois shara milos. You're allowed to come and do an extra mile of tvila, even if there's an article. It's a picture. And that lefi the Rambam is a goyis lechidush. A goyis lechidush. Lefi Rashi, bisgirat, it's Rabbi Tzokaz, what's lechidush? Yeah. Again, it's a chiyuv in the Rabbanon. Ma'ile osu Rabbanon, right? The Rabbanon, it's the Rabbanon, it's a chiyuv in the Rabbanon. Okay. Zog the Gemara. Now we come to a very famous machloikes. First machloikes, what we had. First machloikes. Zog the Mishnah. Isham hayoyimim. Mevin shlomim. A person can bring shlomim in Yom Tov. Why? Because the shlomim, the basal goes to who? The Bailim, it's Eichel Nefesh. No, it's not the Oila, right? It's the Shlomim. Aber ve'ein soimchin aleyan. That means the smicha. Why? Because smicha is bechol koichoi. Kol koichoi, you take the be'ema, and between the horns of the be'ema, you lean bechol koichoi. Kumto is that he's leaning on a be'ema. You're not allowed to lean on a be'ema in Shabbos and Yom Tov. Why? Because he's using the be'ema. No, using a be'ema in Shabbos is also a Gzeira, right? Gzeira, Shem Royal, but you're not allowed to. Avaloi oilois you can't, because there's no achil over there. It's not oichel nefesh. It's also ubeisilaloim mevim shlomim, and also the oilois. We can see a pasuk because we learned that from a pasuk in the Gemara. Vesoichin alen, as you can see in the Gemara. Why? Omarule, look the Gemara. The machloikas b'shal me'isilal is not about kamei v'maki shalmei chagiga in Yom Tov. Shalmei chagiga definitely you can kamei v'maki. Why? Because they are what's called choyvas hayoyim. The same thing, there's no machloikas on the Dorim and the Dovos that what you're not makriv. Why? Because they're not choyvas hayoyim. So what does the machloikas say? Oh. Machloikas b'shalmei chagiga lismoich and oilas riyeh likorev. The whole machloik b'shamay b'silel is only shalmei chagiga to do the smiche. Shalmei chagiga for sure you're makriv. It's choyvas hayoyim. Stam Dorim and the Dovos for sure not, because it's not choyvas hayoyim. But when we're talking about over here, is the machloikas says shalmei chagiga to do smicha, to be makriv, everyone's makriv, and oilas riyeh to be makriv. Now Ule comes and explains the machloikas of an oila. Lo di Gemara. Debi Shabbai Savre v'chagoyisem oyisoy chag laHashem. Now from the word v'chagoyisem, what we learn out, chagoyisem, it sounds like what? Chagige, chagoyisem, chagige in oilas riyeh loy. That's the only call you can be makriv in the chag. Ubeisil el Savre laHashem. Call the laHashem, you can be makriv. No. Oilos laHashem, definitely. More laHashem than anything else, right? It's koli laHashem. Aval and Dorim and Dovo is Nivrakol ein krevi beyom Tov. V'chein omar Ravade Barave and Dorim and Dovo is ein krevi beyom Tov. As I state away in the din of Ravade Barave and Ule, that what is the Machloikas only to do smiche for Shalmei Chagiga, you definitely can come and be makriv Shalmei Chagiga, and about the oilo to be makriv the oilo. Frag the Gemara from a Beitza, not like Ule and Ravade Barave. Meisevei, frag the Gemara Ule, Omar Rab Shimon ben Elazar, Lo yinechleku beishama yubisilel, al oilo she'eino shel Yom Tov, she'eino kreva b'Yom Tov. ועל שלומים של יום טוב שקרבים ביום טוב. על מה נחלקו? על אוילו שהיא של יום טוב. ועל שלומים שאינו של יום טוב. That means, let's take the last part. What he says, what's the מחלוקת? על שלומים שאינו של יום טוב. That means, not שלמי חגיגה. Not שלמי חגיגה. Shebe Shama Yoimrim Lo Yovi. Don't be go oil on Yom Tov. And also not Shlomim of not Yom Tov. Ubeisila Yoimrim Yovi. No. So what do we see over here? And the Braisa Mefurish, not like Ula and Ravad Barabim. We see Mefurish in the Braisa of Rab Shimon ben Elazar. And the Braisa states that the Machlokes is also about Shlomi. That's not the Shalmi Chagige. And then Ula and Ravad Barabim said that Shlomi is not Shalmi Chagige. Everyone agrees that you cannot come and be Makri. And for the Gemara, Teritz ve'emeoch. That means you're going to have to change the Lashon of the Braisa. You're going to have to say Azoi. Omar Rab Shimon ben Elazar, lo yinech leku beishama yubisilel al oilo. What is the machloikas? Ve'al shlomim she'ein shel yontev she'krevim yontev. Also no machloikas. Al man nechleku? Al oilo she'ein shel yontev she'mishayim omrim lo yovi. That's oilo sreya, yeah? Uveisilo omrim yovi. Right? That's it. So what we see over here, exactly, like Ule and Ravada learned, I mean, the same thing. It was the machloikas dafke oilo sreya if you makrim, and chagiga if you do smicha. Rabbi Yosef Omar, a different teretz. Tanoi shokalts be'alme means you come and taking stam other tanoi from the world. That means you don't have a possibility to come and say that it's a machlokes tanoim over here. Why to change the Braisa and say it's a machlokes tanoim? Kilo, you're taking away tanoim from the world. There's tanoim. Kilo, you're not misiaches to them. You stole tanoim. There's tanoi shokalts be'alme that you're taking away tanoim from the world. There's other tanoim who disagree with it. There's a machlokes tanoim. Tanoi says Rabbi Yosef. Tanoi, the machloikas. This Tanoi who say like Ule. This Tanoi who say like Rab Shimon ben Elazar. Where do we see it? The Tanya. Let's see the Braisa. The Tanya. Shlomim haboim machmas Yom Tov. Be Yom Tov. Shlomim that you come and you bring in Yom Tov, right? Machmas Yom Tov in Yom Tov. Beishama Yomim soy mechaleim me'erev Yom Tov v'shoichton be Yom Tov. Shlomim that come machmas Yom Tov is what we call shalmei chagiga. I say, that means you cannot, even though it's a din, take the smicha shchita, you have to do the smicha. Mamish is seconds before the shchita. Over here you can't use the behemoth on Yom Tov. You can't, the whole koichet has to be, you can't lean on the behemoth on Yom Tov. So you do it me'erev Yom Tov, you ain't do Yom Tov. Ubeisile lo imrim, soy mechalev be Yom Tov, you'll have to do it in Yom Tov. Over shoichaton be Yom Tov, also Yom Tov. Daf Yud Testament based Avon Nedorim uNedovois Divrei HaKoil Ein Krevim BeYom Tov. Ad kan is the Braisa. Ad kan is the Braisa. So what do we see in the Braisa? Nedorim uNedovois that are not Shalmei Chagiga. The Fi Beis Hillel, they are not Nikra Yom Tov. This is Mamish Mefurish like who? Like Ule. Ve'anet Hanoi, the one that we have. Ve'anet Hanoi. That means right. The one that we had, this is the Ulukule. The Tanya, what we had of Shimon ben Elazar, goes like all the Braisa. What's all the Braisa? The Tanya. Ein Mevin Toido Bechag HaMatzos. It means Mechomet Shebo. That means Azoi. Kom Toido comes with Arboim Lechomim. Right? Now the Arboim Lechomim, some of them, 10 of them is divided into 4. Kikim. When you have Chometz, and you have 10 of them are Chometz. 10 of them are Chometz. The rest are Matzah. But 10 of them are chometz. Now you cannot come and bring chometz in Pesach, and that's why you don't mean a kom toido. Veloi be'atzeres, you don't mean also kom toido in Shavuos. Why? They show yontev. But maybe odom toidosoi bechag HaSukkos. What means bechag HaSukkos? Not in the yontev. Cholamoyed. Cholamoyed Sukkos. Yeah, cholamoyed, not in yontev. Rab Shimon Oimer, Ari Oimer, bechag HaMatzos, bechag HaShavuos, bechag HaSukkos. That means we do a hekesh all of the moyados. What did Kavna teach us? Kol shebo bechag HaMatzos, bo bechag HaShavuos, bechag HaSukkos. And bechol shelo bo bechag HaMatzos, for example, a kom toido, einoi bo bechag HaShavuos, bechag HaSukkos. So we see over a special miyud to the sekesh not to bring a kom toido in Chag HaSukkos. That's what the Tane Rab Elazar Rab Shimon Oimer. Maybe Adam toidose bechag HaSukkos. Ve'yoytze bo yadei choivose mishum simcha. Ve'ein yoytze bo mishum chagiga. That means a person can bring also toido bechag HaMatzos. Sorry, not bechag HaMatzos, bechag HaSukkos. Chag HaSukkos, not on Yom Tov, on Chol HaMoed. Chol HaMoed. Chol HaMoed. Now, why? It's yoytze mishum simcha and not chagiga. Yeah, because kom chagiga is something else. That means there is every Yom Tov we bring with these 3 korbanos. You'll see Mat Hashem in a few weeks. We're going to start. In a couple of weeks, we're going to start Masechet Chagige. And then we have Kom Re'eh, Kom Chagige, and Shalmi Simcha. Now, Shalmi Simcha is stop Ein Simcha Lebos of a Yain. So you make Shalmi Simcha. Now, the Shalmi Simcha is not a chiyuv. It's motive if you have Oichlin Merubim, so you're being more of a Shalmi Simcha, right? Shalmi Simcha changes the feed the person. If the person has stomach cold, that he bought shlomim, he can use it Shalmi Simcha because he has meat to eat. So the Toidah, even though he promises in the Toidah, but he can come and use the same vow what he done. But the Toidah also for the Shalmi Simcha because the Meiser of Simcha he's eating over their meat. Yes.
Same idea.
Yes. You can be. Omar, let's go back to this Beitza. Ein mevin Toidah b'chag hamatzos ifnei chometz Shabbos. Pshita for sure. Pesach chometz is not. Omar Avad bereider Rav Yitzchok ve'amar lo Rav Shmuel bar Oche be'arboso. When it's talking about over here, in the 14th of Nisan. It's talking about, right, be'arboso askinet ve'kosovar ein mevin koti lebeis absul. What's up, Pshat? Pshat does it. You bring it now, Erev Pesach. Now, Erev Pesach, till when you can eat chometz, shochamishis, right? Shochamishis. And what happened? This person bought this korban 2 hours ago. How long do you have for Toidah? Yoiv Elaylo. Even the Shlomi Shnei Elaylo, Yachod B'Toidah, especially we want, to come to the fast of the next week, we only Yoiv Elaylo. This person is being 2 hours before shochamishis. What's going to happen? A grobe korban Toidah. 40 lechom. It's a lot. Everyone is a serious eifah. It's a lot to eat. I mean, once a cheshbon comes out, a lot of kilo of chalas and things. Now, this he has to finish in 2 hours. And if he doesn't finish it in 2 hours, Beis Absul means he's going to be going to come to burn the. We know din ein mevis hakotchi lebeis Absul. Veloi, the Gemara continued to explain the Beitza. Veloi be'atzel neishor yomtev. The Gemara, why not? Kosova, because this time not verstanden. The dorim the doris. Eikrim beyontev. Very good. I will maybe other continue the Beitza. I will maybe other toidos mechag sukkah says the Gemara. Eimas. What is it? Ileve beyontev atzma. If we talk about yontev itself, you don't bring a kom toido. We just said, "Well, it's loy be'atzel neishor yomtev." And Shavuos you don't bring it not because it's chometz, because it's yontev. Sukkah is also not. Elo bechoilo shel moyed. Shimon oimer, הרי oimer בחג המצות, ובחג השבועות, ובחג הסוכות, כל שבו בחג המצות, או בחג השבועות, ובחג הסוכות, וכל שלא יבוא בחג המצות, אין בו בחג השבועות, ובחג הסוכות. And the Gemara assumes that Rav Shimon Shizuri comes to say that what? You don't bring בכלל נדורים ונדומס. You don't bring בכלל נדורים ונדומס. בכלל you don't bring נדורים ונדומס. And Oy Bazoi, fragt die Gemara, maskim lo Rav Zeir, Asher salte mesaltine נדורים ונדומס miboya. You're allowed to even come and to pick wood, mina mechuber, and chol hamoed, right? You're allowed to chop off wood, mina mechuber, and chol hamoed. To bring the dome and the dovis, for sure you're allowed to. Omar Abaye be'akrove kulam elo iplige de shore. For sure that you're allowed to come and dig. Ki iplige was a machloiges, lemeik amolei bebalteach. And that means, when there's a time when a person comes and makes a vow, he promises to bring a comb. There is a din, he has to bring it. And if he doesn't bring it, he's over balteach. We're going to see it in the mamish in a few days. When we start Masechet Rosh Hashanah, it's big sugya about the. And if he brings it in a delay, he brings the comments in a delay, he's chayev. That means Baal Te'achar on this Isur of Lav. What is the Isur? 3 months. Sorry, not 3 months. Sholosh Regolim. Sorry, Sholosh Regolim. The shaila is how exactly we could wear the Sholosh Regolim. The Seder was stated in the Torah, or the Seder whenever I promised. If I promised before Pesach, I'm going to count Pesach Shavuos Sukkot. If I promised before Shavuos, I'm also going to count Shavuos Sukkot v'chulei. Right? How we count it? Tane kames sovar. Let's just finish one slate. Sorry. Tane, we're catching up. Tane kames sovar sholosh regolim al hamone. And after that, you start the lav. And afilu shaloi kesidon. So if I promise before Shavuos, it's going to be Shavuos Sukkot Pesach. If I promise before Sukkot, it's going to be Sukkot Pesach Shavuos. If I promise before Pesach, right? Rav Shimon sovar kesidon in davke Pesach Shavuos Sukkot. That's a seder. Shaloi kesidon lo. He's not going to be over Batach. So sometimes the person can come in also 5. Let's say, like Bohemian, he promised, he made a vow. Shavuos kum? No. Sukkot kum? No. Pesach kum? I 3 ago? No. Pesach I start the count. Pesach, Shavuos, Sukkot, and then he's going to be over the Baal Te'achar. But Shaloi kesidon is not going to be over Batach. We learned in the Beitza. Rab Loza bar Rab Shimon Noimer, maybe on the Toidosa b'Chag HaSukkos. What is the Chag HaSukkos? We said Eimas. Ilei b'Chodesh HaMoed. I know Tanakame. Tanakame says b'Chodesh HaMoed. Elom ve'Yom Tov. You bring it in Yom Tov. Because Savan and Dorin is craving Yom Tov. Says the Gemara, Ma'ishno Chag HaSukkos the Nokat. Why Chag HaSukkos? Yes. Why? Says the Gemara, every Yom Tov. Rab Loza bar Rab Shimon Tamei. The Taine. Rab Shimon Oimer lo Yoimar. Right. The pasuk was talking about the Chag HaSukkos. She when you talk about the Isur Badach, you talk about Chag HaSukkos. Lomo Neemar, why we come and speaking about the Chag HaSukkos? Why we came and saying Chag HaSukkos? That means that what? That this is exactly when you're over on Bal Te'acher, only with the Seder. That means Chag HaSukkos has to be the last one. Pesach, Shavuos, Sukkot has to be the Achroin. Ablaza Bar Shimon Oimer, Loimar Shezeh, Goyim. That means Chag HaSukkos is also Goyim to Bal Te'acher. That means if he done a neder before Sukkot and Yom Tov went past and he didn't be, he's over also on Bal Te'acher. That Sukkot itself is also counted. Yes, on Yom Tov is also going to be counted. You can see that depends on the machlokes when you're over on Bal Te'acher and when you're not over on Bal Te'acher. We're going to stop over here. Fine. I'm sorry if it was too fast, so I'm ready to think, but Baruch Hashem, we're catching up. Yeah, I think today's staff was it. The two down forward.
Perfect. We are on the duck now. This is to the day's duck, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, I hope it was not too fast, but no, we have Ishane Rabbe, so we have to catch up.
No, we caught up.
We're going to Manchester tomorrow.
You're going to Manchester? Oh,
You still catch up.
Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Yeah. Legabi Nedorim and Nedovois, right? We said Nedorim and Nedovois, Divrei HaKoil, Ei Krevim B'Yom Tov. And Rashi explains why. So Rashi says the Yochol Le'avion B'Zman Acher. Or what the lashon Rashi? Le'achar Zman. Sorry. Rashi says the Yochol Le'avion Le'achar Zman. The Chelkas Yoyov has a very interesting shaila. The fact of the Rambam. The Rambam says in Perek Ches Ilchos Tridum Musafin Aloch Tes. The Rambam sagt das. What if a person had over there sheep? Says the Rambam, of the kvasim, they got lost. What should he do? So the Rambam, he brings over there lechem acher. That means he's talking about over there korban toiler. Yeah, got lost the keves or the korban toiler. So he brings over there different bread with the kvasim. Right? You can't use the bread of the what he does here before. How can you come and bring other bread in Yom Tov? The afia is not the Yom Tov. When you bake it Erev Yom Tov. Also the lechem apoli they baked beforehand. Shtei lechem they always baked it before Yom Tov. So if it got lost in Yom Tov, how can you bake it? Bring lechem acher. How can you bring it?
You can see it of people who were baking lach metoida. We know is it the Shem Toida, is it the Shem? The Mishnah in
Psochim, the guy Psochim, you could use it. Yeah, a person sells like the Hakika does it.
Don't have to bake.
You hear me on them?
Don't have to bake. No.
What's the problem with baking something for Yom Tov on Yom Tov? Why can't he bake something on Yom Tov if he wants to eat it on Yom Tov? What's the problem?
You could do it like Hazman. You don't have to come and do it now.
Yeah, but if he wants to bring the carbon on Yom Tov, so is he bringing the carbon on Yom Tov or he's not bringing the carbon on Yom Tov? Is he going to bring the carbon on Yom Tov?
Oh, so that's exactly the shaila.
Well, if he's going to bring the carbon on Yom Tov, he's got no choice.
Then he could come and do it, yeah.
Yeah, then he needs it for that day. He needs it for that day, not Lachazman, if he's doing it on Yom Tov for carbon. So what's the problem?
So why Shtei Lechem you can't do it in Yom Tov? Why can't you come and bake Shtei Lechem in Yom Tov?
I don't know.
You can't bake it in Yom Tov. Shtei Lechem.
Why don't they do it? No.
Een lechem is nog maken kwassim, ik weet niet. I don't know, de lechem is nog maken de kwassim.
Wouldn't it even taste better to make it fresh on Yom Tov, surely? The lechem would taste better making it on the same day rather than the day before.
Eat them, the Treidu Lechem.
What do you say?
The Abon Lechem you won't eat on the Treidu. Shtei Lechem, you're makriv.
Oh, you're makriv then?
Jews.
Ah.
No, no, I'm saying you're allowed to bake to eat. You're eating them, though.
Well, I'm just asking you.
Yom Tov.
You just said your makriv then. You just said your makriv then, didn't you?
Yeah, I see. I
What
don't know
is it? Are they
if
marked?
Dorim and the Dovois, yeah, that's in the Dorim and the Dovois, you cannot come and be marked when you're on them, but you got me this. Weiß ich. Marked, got me smicha. Okay. Dann goes the Shaila. But the Maisa kommt euch over in our Suge, kommt euch three different shittas, right? As we saw, Rav Shimon Elazar, Abba Shaul, and Ule, right? The few Ule, Shlomim, right? Afilu Shlomim, you cannot be Makriv with Yom Tov. Rav Shimon Elazar, Shlomim, you're Makriv. Oilo, you're not Makriv. And Abba Shaul, also Oilo, you can come and be Makriv, right? So let's do the second this. Beishamai say you're being Shlomim. Ve'esoim chin alein, right? That's the Lashon of Mishnah. Ve'esoim chin alein. And Beisila say, Avaloi Oilois, Beisila lo Yimrim. Ve'vim Shlomim, ve'Oilois, the Soim chin alein. Right? And the Gemara we said that Ule says, and the Machloik is Shal Mechagig and Oilas Reye, or the Dor and the Dovos, Divrei HaKoil, the Lashon is Divrei HaKoil, Ein Krevim Beyom Tov. And Ravad Marav said the same thing, that the Dor and the Dovos you cannot be Makriv Beyom Tov. Now, in this thing of Akrovas the Dor and the Dovos, Lefi Beis Hillel, so there's a few shittas. As we said, Ule, who said you're not Makriv, not Oilois, not Shlomim, and we saw one Braisa was Alta Zoiviem. And the Gemara brings also the sheet of Rav Shimon ben Elazar that these come and differentiates. He's mechalik between Shalmin and Dover, that's your Makriv, and Oilas the Dover, that you know Makriv. Kum dois lefi everyone, Oilas the Dover, you know Makriv in Yom Tov. The Shaila is Shalmin and Dover. Right? The whole Shaila is Shalmin and Dover. So we have the Gemara in Shabbos, Kuf Yudale, the Gemara comes and says, Masha that lefi the man Dover, the Dover and Dover is your Makriv in Yom Tov. So they're not only Shalmin and Dover, your Makriv, also Oilo. Also Oilo, your Makriv. So when Kiveger tak gefragt, the Kiveger, I think it's and also in Gilya Shas and Sanedrin Daf Dvov, that the Choyr over here we see in the Gemara that also the Pir Rav Shimon ben Elazar that Eraldas Medorim and Dovos you are Makriv, that's Dafke Shlomi, but Oilo you not Makriv. And the Choyr is well. So I think the Rishonim already being the Ran, I don't remember exactly what they say, that they say that the Rav Shimon ben Elazar, that he said that the Oilo, you're not Makriv Oilo, what's Mashma when the Gemara is Dafka with the Rabbanon. The Rai said there's no difference. And the same like Shlomi, you're Makriv, also Oilo, you could be Makriv. And the Gemara, in Shabbos, what mentioned the Gemara, Sanedrin is talking about the Rai say. As I think the Ran says the Steretz. Later says nicht so, right? Yeah. Toys, if you look at Toys later on in the Chavzayin with base, Toys talked before that Toys says Mashach from Toys says definitely that it's a doiraisa. Even if you have Shimon Elazar. The really the Doris and Krim Yodov, I feel Shlomi, but Mayo Shlomi Tzorich Hediya too. Govoya. The Toys later on the Chavzayin with base, it's Mashma. The Rav Shimon Elazar Oilas Reye is not covered of a film with the Reise.
You have time to bring the Oilas Reye.
That's all. The whole of Yom Tov.
It's not in.
Yeah, that's the Mishnah. You can see Lo Yevi. The Mishnah is talking about Oilas Reye. The person that being in the Rishon, Tashlumi, Yesh Tashlumi, Ain't Tashlumi, Tashlumi Rishon, Tashlumi Zelazeh. Yeah, that's the Mishnah over there. Fine. So we have three different shittas, and that's the shit of Abba Shaul. That's gonna go the thing. I go to Shkarach.
Have a nice day.
Call to.